Hello, everyone, and welcome to my podcast. My name is Alun da Silva, and I am your humble host. Welcome to a place where I like to talk about real talks, place where I open my living room to you guys. I open my heart and share some of my stories, as well as the stories of my guests. And I hope that you also open your heart and you open your living room or wherever you are to listen to the things that I'm sharing. And hopefully, you also share some of your stories with me in the comments below. So, this podcast is all about encouraging young people to achieve their dreams and really thinking about how to improve ourselves emotionally, mentally, physically, and financially. Those are things that I like to talk about. And as the saying goes, many times we talk about things that we also struggle with. And those are things that I like to focus on. And so today I'd like to talk about digital detox and mindful technology use. You might be wondering, digital detox? Well, is there something like that? Well, I think if there's nothing like that, then we have to coin that because that is so important in this day and age to pull back from, you know, from everything happening on the web, on social media, and connect to yourself. And this is so important. And the reason why I'm talking about that today is because this week, no, this season has been so overwhelming. So many things happening. And I know that it's not only me. We're in this world where there's a lot that is happening. And with the connectivity now, with social media and everything being connected, we get a lot of prompts, a lot of information, a lot of things coming at us from everywhere, and it's overwhelming. I don't know about you guys, but I get really overwhelmed when there's so many things come at me, and then I have to deal with my own inner things. Damn, that is a lot. So sometimes I really, really do need to just pull myself back and connect with myself. So today I'd like to talk about digital detox and mindful technology. And as always, if I say anything in this podcast and you feel like it resonates with you, I want you to say yes in the comments below. Right? Let me know what I said that resonated with you. Let me know where you're joining me from, and let me know your name. And it's really nice to meet you. So I'd like by starting to talk about understanding the impact of technology overuse. Is there something like technology overuse? I think there is. And obviously, you determine what that means for you because we all have different thresholds. What is your threshold? You know, at what point do you start feeling like, oh, this is too much and I need to go back? Or at what point do you start feeling like, oh, I'm really starting to feel annoyed, upset, pissed off, or uncomfortable? I'm really starting to feel, this is really getting to me. At what point do you reach your threshold? Let me know in the comments below. So I would like to look into physical and mental, effects of excessive screen times, right? Such as eye strains, disrupted sleep pattern, and increased stress levels. Wait, is there anyone here that finds like as they grow, they find it harder and harder to sleep? Our sleep pattern has been disrupted so much. There's so many things coming at us. And I feel like we tend to be thinking a lot. Many of us tend to be living in our heads these days, which causes what? Stress. Then we're all feeling stressed and overwhelmed. And we're wondering what is happening. Well, what is happening? I say that, well, to me, I can only talk about my own experience. Like when I have so many things come at me, and I don't intentionally pull myself back and I'm not selective about the things that I take inward, then I get overwhelmed. And trust me, whatever you watch or whatever you interact with, at some level, it stays in your field. So don't feel like, oh, I'm just going to watch this and forget about it. At some level, it stays in your consciousness. So if you're not intentional about, or if you don't set guardrails on your consciousness, things are just going to fall in and fall in and fall in. And before you know, sometimes you wake up and you're like, I don't know what's happening, but I feel a little bit off. Or I don't know what's happening, but I feel a little bit, I don't feel myself. And you can't really pinpoint what it is, but you just feel like you're not yourself. Chances, are you might just have so much happening in your consciousness that you're not even aware of. So today I'd like to invite you to a digital detox. And I also want to talk about the constant connectivity can lead to reduced productivity and decreased attention span because we all crave what's next. Oh, I've stayed here too long. Because our brain gets used to just jumping from one thing to the other, one thing to the other, and then it reduces our productivity because we don't stay focused enough to be able to do something well, right? And another thing, another point I'd like to share with you guys, and these are just few for thoughts. Think about it and do what you want to do with it. So, what are some of the benefits of digital detox? So, I think digital detox can help reset the mind, reduce stress, and improve overall well-being. For me personally, when I take some time off, at the moment I'm taking some time from Instagram, so forgive me if you send me a message on Instagram and I haven't responded. I want to intentionally go to on Instagram when I am ready to go on there, and not when I get so many influx of messages that I feel like I have to go and respond. So my notifications on Instagram are silent, and on many other social apps they're actually silent. So it's when I choose to go on there that I go and I do what I have to do, and then I jump right off. Right off. And I feel like since I started doing that, I feel more in control of my time. I feel more at peace. I can go. I'm going there for a specific reason. I do that. I respond or I interact with people I want to interact, and then I'm off. And I'm off to do other things that are important to me. I don't feel like my time is hijacked, or I don't feel like I have to continue scrolling before I know, oh, 2 hours is gone and I was supposed to be doing something else. And then I feel bad that I didn't manage my time properly. And some other benefits are, when you plan your time and you take regular breaks from technology, I feel like it gives you a sense of confidence. Confidence that you can trust yourself. I think that's the biggest thing that some of us are struggling with. I think at some level we think, can we actually trust ourselves? Can I trust myself that when I say no, I don't want to be treated this way, I don't allow anyone to treat me this way? Can I stand for my own word? Can I say that, oh, I don't want to spend more than an hour or 2 hours, 2 hours, more than an hour on social media a day? Can I stick to that? Can I trust myself to see that I don't want anything else to hijack my time? I want to be in control of my own time and what I do with my time. Can I trust myself? I feel like when you start implementing digital detox, it increases your own self-confidence, that you can trust yourself. You can actually trust yourself. And I trust you. I trust you that you stop making these changes. And look, you don't have to change your whole life, right now just from watching this video. But maybe I hope that this video is going to be a fuel for thought. Just going to give you an idea that you can start to think about or ruminate, or maybe you can implement a few things or just one thing, or you can start to rethink how to ameliorate your life. That's the purpose of this podcast, just to provide a few ideas, few thoughts for you to think about, things that could potentially help you, or who knows, you decide whether it's helpful to you or not. So I also like to talk about practical mindful technology use, right? And I think doing things like setting specific times for checking emails and social media, using apps that track screen time, obviously letting your iPhone let you know about your screen time, and creating tech-free zones or times. One thing I like to do is I always put my phone on airplane mode when I'm going to bed, because there's nothing more painful than than an interrupted sleep. So painful when my sleep is interrupted, because then it's hard to go back, right? Or even if you go back to sleep, it's hard for you to get the quality of sleep that you would have gotten if it wasn't interrupted. So I put my phone on airplane mode always. And one thing I always do as well is I make sure I have time. I don't go straight to my phone, and my phone stays on airplane mode until I'm done with my morning routine, until I'm done connecting with myself. All right. Other things that you can do is create tech-free zones. All right. Maybe you don't bring your technology to your room. That would be something I like to try. You don't bring, no technology to your room, or you have a prayer room or a zone where no technology goes there. I mean, try a few different things, and obviously making sure that you keep track of your screen time. I love it when my phone tells me every week what my screen time was, and I'm like, ooh, maybe I've done too much this week. And again, I want to caveat this by, obviously, many of us, you can do a lot of productive things, right? It's not because you spend a lot of time on your phone that you're not being productive. Like, obviously, I use a lot of my technology. I do my meditation using my phone and my iPad, and then I do a lot of research. You do other things that are productive, right? I'm not saying just get off your phone, but I just want to bring I just would like you to be more mindful about what are the things you do that are not that productive. Do you spend too much time on social media just scrolling, or do you just spend too much time doing things that are not helpful? Or do you spend too much time just being overwhelmed, listening to conversations that you're not meant to listen to? Or do you spend too much time just watching the news or listening to the news, and and that affects your consciousness? And talking about that, I just want to send my love and blessings to the lady that was stabbed in Manchester just this week that I heard of. I sent my love to the family and to everyone. This kind of news are devastating. And I think it's important for us to stay aware, to be aware, to be informed. I also think it's important that, you take some time off and think about what this means to you, and think about what you can do in order to improve your neighborhood. And finally, I think it's important to start to adopt intentional technology use, right? By prioritizing in-person interactions and engaging in activities that don't involve screens. I think that's important. Bringing both together. Technology is great. I love it to death. I think it's also important to prioritize in-person interaction. Just yesterday, I went to this event with one of my really good friends, and then we went to have dinner, and we just chatted, and it felt so good to just be there and to just chat with someone that really loves me and I love her. And I think having those interactions are important. I know that these days, many of us have this inertia for, leaving our comfort zone or leaving our homes or going out. And I'll say, it's okay. Have your time, be in your cocoon, and just maybe sometimes also connect with other people, because having the balance is important. Being always outside, and never having time to nourish yourself is also really hard on you. Take the time to nourish yourself, and take the time to also share and spend your time and energy with other people. So today we talked about digital detox and mindful technology use. And guys, I'm not here to tell you what to do. You know better. I'm just here to share some of my experiences, and maybe that would help you in the aspect of your life that you're most interested in. So let me know if this was helpful. I love sharing these points and these thoughts with you guys, and it's always a pleasure to be here to share my soul, to share my heart. And I believe that if you came across this video, or you watch me, follow me, I believe we're a kindred spirit. I believe there's something that's bringing us together. And I trust that that thing is always going to guide you, is always going to help you, and it's always going to keep you. And so I wish you well. And until our next podcast, stay blessed. Bye, guys. Bye.